Alright, so I did a tier list video, right, yesterday, going over the blue units of Grand Cross, updated it since 4 months ago. Now I'm going to do a top 10 worst SSRs in the game. Now, every single unit here is a contender for this list, right? I personally feel like they all could be, you know, on this top 10, but of course, I got to pick the 10 worst. Whew, I mean, this is going to be hard. This is going to be very, very hard, but I guess we can just get started. So at number 10, I'm actually going to put Bellian, right? At number 10. So Bellian is, oh man, you see, this is why it's so hard. Bellian is like, he's terrible, but as you guys will see on this list, it's just, he's better than the majority of them because he can be useful. So his passive, he recovers 30% of his diminished HP, right? He has Shatter AoE on his skill 1. He can, you know, dissolve immediately on his skill 2. And he has an AoE ultimate that hits for a pretty decent amount, or actually pretty decent amount. Now, personally, they should have put Shatter on his ult. I feel like that would have been much better, but they didn't for some reason. They gave it to a skill 1, which is like, why? I mean, they could have gave him charge and easily put Shatter on his ultimate, I feel like. Or they could have buffed up the damage from 525 to like make this at base over 600 and then cap it at like 900, damn near 1,000. That would have been good. That would have been good for this unit since he can't increase his attack. So I don't understand why they did it, but it's fine, right? So Bellian can still be useful, although he is definitely top 10 worst SSR in the game. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So at number 9, right, as we move up the tier list, it's just gonna get worse. Like, it's literally just gonna get worse. So at number 9, we could put Rimaru. Rimaru definitely is very bad. He aged a lot since his initial release. It is sad too because he used to be very, very good, but he does have a very good stance card actually, right? Because debuff immunity and healing next turn, very good. And then at rank 2 he taunts, and then it just gets, you know, better and better. So his stance card actually isn't that bad. Like, if I'm being completely honest, his stance card is very good. It's just the rest of his kit is terrible because he has to take damage for his defense to go up. He has a single target rupture. Like, if this was AoE rupture, he actually would be pretty good, but it's only single target. So it's like, okay, sure, right? And then his ultimate isn't even that good either, right? Like, it's just, it stuns, cancels buff and stances, but it's single target. So, I mean, sure, right? So he is like, just, he aged. He has aged. I can see an argument for putting them there. Everyone's gonna have their own opinions, by the way, on this tier list, right? You're all gonna have your own opinions. So it doesn't matter what I say or what I do. You're all gonna have your opinions on how this should be. But I genuinely feel like Rimaru is number 9. So moving up to number 8. Number 8, man. Number 8, I feel like this is free game, but for number 8, I actually am going to put, where is he? I actually am going to put Green Fraudrin. I am going to put Green Fraudrin. He's trash. He is trash. For a unit that's supposed to have, you know, good CC, because his passive works on, you know, the enemies having lower CC, he doesn't really provide much. Even when he initially released, he didn't do anything. Like, he has single target extort. This really should have been AoE, by the way. He has single target extort. Should have been AoE, but they didn't give it to him because Bond had it. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. They did give him like an AoE removes buffs, but he doesn't do damage on like the skill. It's just not a good, it's really not a good kit, man. It really isn't. It's so sad too. Like, he was supposed to be very good for his release. Literally like 2 months after, he just wasn't useful. He does seal ult gauge, right? But he has to have higher CC. Now he's just, look at his, look. It's CC is terrible. That CC is actually terrible. Actually, let me compare it. I think he actually is lower than Bellian. I think he actually is lower, just base. Yeah, he is. See, like, even Bellian. It's just so sad, man. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is. At number 7, I think honestly you could make an argument at number 7 for Beatrice. Like, Beatrice, Like, she sucks. She's so bad. Like, she is so bad. She came out and was terrible. Like, you would think that, okay, maybe I can use her in some type of content. No, literally no. She wasn't even good for her own raid. Like, for the Raid Zero collab raid, she wasn't even good for that. She just couldn't compete. She's based around healing, so the more damage that she does, you know, the more she'll recover. But it's like I don't know, like just terrible setup. She has to spare, but this doesn't do damage. Her AoE, again, lifesteal, AoE at, you know, AoE ultimate, terrible multiplier, terrible at max, like 525. Come on, man. Like, we could have got a much better version of this card. Even her passive, like, it just increases the hero's HP related stats by 5. What? 5? Like, you could have made this 15. You could have easily made this like Roxy. What would have, like, why? What is the harm at making this 5%? Because if she could have capped that 30% HP related stats, like, what's the harm in that? I don't understand. So her regeneration is high, but it doesn't matter. It really just, it's so sad, but she is terrible. She actually is terrible. I would honestly, she does have higher CC than Fraudrin, being at 4,287 beasts, but even Fraudrin can stop her. Like, it's sad. I honestly would say Beatrice is worse than Fraudrin, because at least with Fraudrin, if you pull him, you could, if you really wanted to, work on him to make him good and make him support allies. Beatrice, what? Single target lifesteal? What? Come on now. So guess we'll just be moving up now. Here's where things get very hard. So 6, right? I feel like for number 6, people are not gonna agree with me, maybe, but at number 6, I'm gonna have to put my boy. You know what? No, Hendrickson. I'm gonna put Hendrickson here. Hendrickson, just he's bad. He's just bad. I don't even need to look at his passive or anything like that. He's just bad. Even at the start of the game, he didn't do much, right? He really didn't do much, but you could do this though, right? I guess you could do that. Greymore's pretty bad, but to say, like, it gets very wishy-washy, right? To say Greymore is better, or to say Greymore is worse than Beatrice, I can't do that. I can't do that. I feel like Greymore is better than Beatrice and Hendrickson. I do feel like Greymore is terrible. He's one of the worst SSRs in the game, but like, upon thinking about it, Greymore does actually have some type of, like, you know, viability with his tank. He doesn't, okay, it's really hard to say he can tank, but he somewhat can with his ult. If he gets his ultimate off, if and only if he gets his ult off, he is one of the most defensive units in the game. It's not even up for comparison. It's not even fair. Like, it's no contest. If he gets his ultimate off, that's it. It's over. He's one of the best tanks in the game, hands down. So, upon thinking about it, Greymore, I actually will put him at 7. I will. And then we'll have Beatrice at 6 and Hendrickson at 5. I like that. I actually do kind of like that, where it's at. So, number 4. Number 4. I'm going to put Milliam. I'm going to put, actually, I hate Milliam, but Hendrickson, now that I'm thinking about it, Hendrickson doesn't do shit. Like, I'm just thinking about it, and Hendrickson just doesn't do anything. Whereas Milliam, she's bad. She is bad, but, ooh, I spelled it wrong. But, what? Milia? What? Oh, Milliam. I can't hear. It's so bad. Like, she's terrible, but she can disable ult moves, right? She has spike, but her crit chance is like, or not her crit chance, her crit damage is so, what? 120%? From when she came out, she was actually pretty damn good, right? She actually was. So if she would have had like 170 crit damage with 80% crit chance, she would have been one of the best units in the game when she released. But, you know, her crit damage does go up. It caps at, you know, it does cap at 10 times. So, you know, give or take, you could make a case, but she has to keep using skills. So in a way, she's like Derriere, where she needs to consistently use skills. But, I mean, she's just, her ultimate is actually not that bad. AoE detonate is actually not that bad. But her whole setup just sucks ass. Like, I hate this unit. I actually hate this unit. But Hendrickson, I cannot deny, Hendrickson doesn't do jack. Like, he doesn't do anything. Like, he just doesn't. You know what? Hendrickson might be number 1. I'm going to skip the 2, 3, and 4. Hendrickson, now that, you know, I'm really thinking about it, as I'm talking about these units, Hendrickson might be number 1. I might just keep Hendrickson at number 1. That's actually crazy that he might be number 1. He might actually be number 1. All right, moving at number 4, I'm going to put Christmas Elaine. Christmas Elaine is ass. She is straight garbage. She doesn't provide anything. She was supposed to be a support for Festival King, but it's like, what? They did buff her passive from 8 to 12%. So on global, I think we still have it at 8. But on JP, it's 12. You know what, Netmarble would have been good? If you simply would have just put decreases attack-related stats by 12% for each DOT debuff. That would have been great. Would have let her be great. Like, what? Like, what was, come on. Like, let's think about what we're doing in that Marvel. That would have been perfect. Really, really good. It's just, she has co-destruction. Doesn't really do much because, spoiler alert, she sucks. Then you got corrosion. Then you got this, which, honestly, her ultimate can potentially hit hard if you get her 6 out of 6. But otherwise, not really. Anything lower than that is going to, you know, be too substantial in terms of damage. But she's terrible. She is just bad. I hate her design. No matter what anyone says, I hate her design. I actually just hate her design, right? I do. I really do. So at number 3, number 3 and 2 can be interchangeable. But at number 3, I'm going to put Green Ball or Bond. And then at number 2, I'm going to put this king. I feel like all 3 of these could be interchangeable. I feel like Elaine is fine where she's at. Could you put her as worse? You could, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that she is still a pretty, like, you know, if you really wanted to run King, you could run her. It's just she's not going to really help that much. But these 3 units right here, they don't do nothing. Green Brawler Bond, he don't have a place at all. Consider we have Purgatory Bond. Not only is he replaced, but why would they do this? Like, why would they actually do this to Bond? And then we get to King and there's no difference. Like, there is no difference. This blue king is shit. Heals 15% of max HP at the start of the next turn if the hero takes damage, which I find to be not that good. If it were 30, then we'd be talking, right? Then we'd be talking. But 15%? Let's be real, guys. Like, no, that's not going to do anything. I do feel like Brawler Bond is better than this king, though. I really do, because at least with Brawler Bond, he can attack. This king has a terrible bleed card. His stance sucks dick. His ultimate, not the worst, actually. His ultimate is not the worst, but I feel like Bonds is just better. I really just feel like Green Bonds, it's better all around. Like, if we just taking a look at his ult, it's just better. He depletes orbs, you know, really strong multiplier. I just feel like it's better all around anyway. But Hendrickson, now that I'm thinking about it, he just sucks, man. He really just sucks. If I could put in honorable mentions, though, if I really could, because I literally can't. I can't. Can I add a row below? Huh, I guess I could. All right, so I'm changing it on spot. I'm not even gonna edit this, right? I'm just changing it on spot. So there you go. But if I could put an honorable mentions, right, I would put, you know, I would put this Elaine, you know, just terrible. Would put Blue Helbram, Will, Benimaru. I'm gonna cheat. I actually am gonna put Halloween Meliodas up there. I hate him. I just call it bias, but I hate him. I will put Deldry. I will put Mikasa. I actually will put Mikasa. I will. I will put Mikasa. Who else? Guess that's really it. I mean, the rest of the units on here can be somewhat decent units, right? Somewhat. Like, you look at them and they're like, okay, maybe I could run them on some type of fun team, but these units just, you're never gonna use them, man. They suck. They suck. I cheated. I don't care. I cheated. I don't care. I really don't care. Halloween Meliodas, he's ass. He is so shit. He's just so bad. But these are my honorable mentions. Like, they didn't make it on this list, but they definitely could have. They definitely could have. But all these units, Jake, they suck and they are terrible. That's it. Hopefully you did enjoy this list. I know some of you might be like, wow, you might not agree, or you might have differences on how you put the units in the tier list, but honestly, this is my personal preference, and I'm gonna leave it like that. So again, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like for the algorithm. Comment below how you would change the not the thumbnail, how you would change the tier list, and do you agree with it, etc., etc. But as always, you guys already know, I will see you all next time.